The automotive world has always been a playground for creativity and bold visions of the future. Some ideas reshaped the industry, while others, full of potential, never made it past the concept stage. Take the Lancia Mega Gamma. Introduced in 1978, designed by Ito Design, this forward-thinking vehicle aimed to change the family transportation. It was imagined as the perfect mix of practicality and usefulness. A tall, boxy car with lots of interior space while staying compact for city driving. Today, we'd see it as the start of the modern minivans, but at the time people thought it was unattractive and unnecessary. It didn't go beyond the concept stage, but it left a mark. It paved the way for cars like the Renault Espace and Chrysler Voyager, which became staples of the family car market. This proves that even ideas that don't get built can shape the future. From practical ideas to cutting-edge engines, the Chrysler turbine car from 1963 was a bold attempt to rethink how cars were powered. This wasn't just a small improvement, it was a leap forward. The turbine's engine was based on jet technology, offering the potential for quieter, smoother rides and the ability to run on almost any fuel, from kerosene to tequila. Chrysler did build 55 prototypes and gave them to families across the US for real-world testing. People loved the jet-like hum and the novelty of running a car on unusual fuels. But the engine had drawbacks. It didn't have much power at low speeds, used too much fuel, and was expensive to make. Even though it never reached production, the turbine car is remembered as a symbol of the mid-20th century engineering and a step forward to an alternative fuel technologies. Fast forward a few decades, the BMW introduced the Gina Light Visionary model in 2008, a concept car that questioned what a car could be. Its exterior wasn't made of metal or carbon fiber, but of a strong, stretchable fabric over a lightweight aluminum frame. This gave the Gina unique abilities like blinking headlights and a body that could change shape for better aerodynamics or to reveal storage compartments. BMW wasn't just experimenting with materials, it was challenging the basic idea of a car design. Could cars be flexible instead of fixed? Could they adapt to their surroundings and owners? While the Gina wasn't meant for mass production, fabric isn't ideal for crashes or bad weather. It showed BMW's commitment to thinking differently. Its influence can be seen in today's lightweight designs and a focus on aerodynamics. Not every concept car aimed to revolutionize the industry. Like the Plymouth Voyager 3 from 1990, focused on solving everyday problems. The Voyager 3 was a modular vehicle that could transform based on the driver's needs. The front half worked as a small city car, great for tight streets and parking spaces. But when more space was needed, they could attach a rear module to turn it into a full-sized minivan for passengers or cargo. While the idea sounded great, it faced practical problems. How would drivers safely connect and disconnect the modules? Would people want to maintain two separate parts? The Voyager's complexity and cost ultimately stopped it, but it reflected the growing demand for flexible, multi-purpose cars, a trend that modern SUVs and crossovers have capitalized on. Electric cars might feel like the 21st century's invention, but AMC's Amatron introduced it in 1967. This shows how long automakers have been chasing this dream. The Amatron was a small, boxy electric car with an advanced batteries for its time, promising a range up to 150 miles per charge. This was revolutionary when most electric cars were heavy, slow, and couldn't go far. Its futuristic design and compact size made it stand out, but it faced big hurdles. The infrastructure for charging electric cars didn't exist at that time, and the batteries were too expensive for mass production. Despite these challenges, the Amatron gave a glimpse to a cleaner, more sustainable automotive future. It was an idea ahead of its time, waiting for the world to catch up. The Hiraco Fold, unveiled in 2012, took a more modern approach to urban transportation. Designed for crowded cities, this electric microcar had a special feature. It could fold itself to become smaller, making it easy to park in tight spaces. The Hiraco wasn't just a gimmick, it was a smart answer to a problem like traffic and limited parking in big cities. Its tiny size and zero-emission electric motor made it environmentally friendly. City planners and governments were interested in using fleets of Hiraco cars for public transportation, but the concept never caught on. High production costs and limited practicality kept it from succeeding. Still, the Jericho Fold is a great example of design tackling urban challenges. Few concept cars capture the imagination like the Cadillac Cyclone. Introduced in 1959, this jet-age masterpiece celebrated the post-war belief in technology and progress. Its sleek, futuristic design featured bubble canopies, jet-like fins, and radar-based crash avoidance technology. An early vision of today's driver assist systems, the Cyclone's canopy could even close automatically if it rained, adding a level of luxury rarely seen at that time. Though it never went beyond the concept stage, the Cyclone represented a time when anything seemed possible. Today, it's remembered as a symbol of the 1950s innovation and creativity. And finally, there's the Ford Nucleon, one of the boldest and most ambitious concepts in car history. Unveiled in 1958 during the atomic age, the Nucleon imagined a car powered by its own miniature nuclear reactor. This reactor promised nearly unlimited range, as drivers could simply swap out spent nuclear cores at designated stations. Its sleek, futuristic design reflected the optimism of the time when nuclear power was seen as the solution to energy problems. But the challenges were massive. The Nucleon would have required entirely new infrastructure, like specialized refueling stations, and raised serious safety concerns. How would a nuclear car be made crash-proof? What would happen in an accident? And how would radioactive waste be handled safely? These questions, combined with high cost of nuclear technology, kept the Nucleon from becoming a reality. However, the Nucleon wasn't just about practicality, it was about dreaming big. It reflected a world where people believed that science could solve all problems, no matter how complicated. The Nucleon may have never made it past the drawing board, but it represented the kind of daring ideas that push innovation forward. Even today, it stands as a reminder of humanity's willingness to explore the limits of what's possible. Each of these cars tells us a unique story, not just of what might have been, but of the relentless pursuit of progress. They remind us that innovation often takes risks, and even when ideas fail, they leave behind lessons and inspiration for the future.